Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ask Audrey. I am your lovely host, Audrey Codner. Do I feel a little randy? Yeah, I'm a little tired, but I am here. Had a little technical difficulties as usual, but definitely wanted to come on here to help with how to gain and maintain my confidence. So it was funny. Someone actually asked me during one of my little interviews and stuff. And she said, "Well, Audrey, how do you keep going when someone basically rejects you?" And I'm like, well, I usually just internalize it, go in the corner and just cry my eyes out. But then after like 5 minutes, I just remember who I am and I just keep going. That's kind of true and kind of not true. Now, when it comes to just how to gain and maintain confidence in business, it's almost like you really have to do a internal search. So when I say an internal search, I kind of have to do a little bit of reflection back. So before I go a little flashback, I'm just going to take a short trip. If you're here live, hit hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hit hashtag replay because it helps with the algorithm. So, and if you're new here, welcome. I know it's usually 7 a.m. A lot of people are probably still sleeping, but I've noticed a lot of people are up. So for those that are here, thank you so much for looking out. So when it comes to my, as a lot of people will say, my confidence, let me take a small trip back to my childhood. So my parents loved them dearly. They came from Jamaica to the United States. My mom came first, and then she was here for a few years. Then my dad followed up just to make sure that everything was okay and everything was happening. And few years later, I came along. Uh, Originally, I was supposed to be a boy because back in the day, we didn't have those 3D sonograms. It was just a simple like post, and you could see a picture, and they thought I was a boy. But I was a little jokester back then. This was what I put in the camera, and they thought it was a boy. But just wanted to let you know a little bit of me. But when it came to when I was being raised, like I wasn't raised like the traditional way, if a lot of people would say, I didn't go to a lot of parties. I had like the neighborhood friends, but we never had people over the house. We never like rode bikes everywhere. I was very much a homebody. My parents were just saying, as they put it their way, it's a way for us to protect you. So, it was a different time. It was the 70s. A lot of things were going on. And then all of a sudden the 80s came about, and they definitely kept me in the house during that time. So it was just a matter of I had time and I was the only child. So I had time to be myself, to reflect myself, to imagine, like just like the Barbie movie. I had my Barbies. Yep, I played with them. And I know it's kind of hard to imagine. Did I have pigtails? Yes. Did I have all the little beads in my hair? Yes. But I was very quiet. I wasn't the type of person when I was raised, it was like children are supposed to be seen, not heard. But my parents definitely told me that they loved me. I don't felt like I was missing attention, but whatever they told you to do, you did. So that's where I was like, you just sit and you observe. And that's what I did. When they wanted to go to like a family gatherings to other people's homes, ugh, which to me, being the introvert that I am, triggered warning. Like that's why I don't go to parties now. When I was a kid, I just feel like a little traumatized about it. But then I took the time to never not speak or advocate for myself because that wasn't the thing back then. So when it comes to, I hate to say it, at the rightful age of 47, that's when I started to, because I'm going to speed up because we're not going to go through the whole thing. That's when I started to really learn to advocate for myself. I was always good with advocating for other people. When I saw other kids being pushed and bullied, I went after them, uh, especially for those that knew me as a basketball player. Basketball really helped me. It helped me to communicate because I was forced to call out plays. I was forced to talk about the transition of defense because we all had to make sure we were running the same defenses, running the same plays, and so forth. The only way we can do that is through communication. So, basketball and sports helped me with that, especially being a shy kid. Even in my college years, it was tough because I didn't have the type of childhood like most, you know? It just seemed like, yeah, I was pretty isolated. There was a lot of things that I didn't know. There was a lot of things I didn't experience. But again, I learned to be observant. So then at the rightful age of 47, I just got tired. I was married. Um, I felt like I was going nowhere and I was burned out in my classroom. I just was done. Just done. But then all of a sudden something just clicked. And that something was the death of my father. Once I saw that whole process, for me, it really kick-started what you guys see now. Years ago, I wouldn't even think about doing a live at all. Years ago, I wouldn't even be putting a post on social media. I was afraid of social media. I was afraid basically of my own shadow. But once he passed, it really kickstarted because life is really that short. Because one minute he's your big, strong Superman, and the next minute he's in a bed. Now he's complaining that he can't move. Before that, it was my friend Kathy that jump started me to basically develop myself outside. But what really kick started me was the death of my father. And then soon after, the death of one of my students. I don't want to say my favorite because I have so many. And then the next one. And then another one from suicide. And then another one from a car accident. And another one for there's a contract. It's just ridiculous. So I had to learn, and in the words of Eric Thomas, I had to figure out that I can, I will, I must. And it's just simple terms. But those words mean so much to me because I was always told that if I may fast forward to the classroom, childhood trauma, that I was told that you won't be able to be successful outside the classroom. Like you're a teacher. Once you're a teacher, you stay a teacher. Your best bet. And I was told that if you want to go far in education, you need to transfer from one school to the next, so you can develop additional skills. What? It's the same thing. Being a math teacher is being a math teacher, no matter what school you go to, no matter what level. So, in order for me to do advancement, I have to jump from one institution to another institution. Do you know what that's called? Transfer? Who else does a transfer? Prisoners. They transfer from one institution to another. I have a little special guest. During the storm, I had this lovely person. Hi. And she hasn't left my side yet. So let me tell you, very entertaining. And she's playing with my pen. Hilarious. Okay, back to the story. So when it comes to jumping from one institution to another institution, it just seems like I'm not going anywhere. The problem still exists. The problem is still kind of shuffled here, shuffled there. All you're doing is just changing schools. What you really need to change is your mindset, is your personality. So if you notice that you're not going anywhere, it's not the school, it's not the system, it's kind of you, because the schools aren't going to change anyway, whatsoever. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. So you really have to take a look at what you want to do. And that's what I did. I really took a serious look. And then I had to say to myself, okay, Audrey, if you're going to break from the norm, because that's what we're doing. As a tutor, I'm breaking from the norm. That's why I have to pay my estimated taxes quarterly, because just in case you fail, we got to make sure that we're getting our money. Yay, USA. So these are the things you're paying your way for your freedom. If you haven't understood that yet, hopefully you're understanding that now. Okay. So, but you're probably saying, well, Audrey, well, how do you keep going? Because it's so easy. Everybody's talking about change your mindset. Okay. Do what you want to do. Yay. But how do you keep going? Because I'm in the service industry. This is where a lot of people, they can't, like, here, okay, I got chapstick. It's a physical product. I can, you're not chasing that. It's a physical product. And anybody can put a price to it. It's easy to put a price to it. But when you're a service, people will tell you, oh, you cost too much. Or people will tell you, oh, well, I can get it cheaper. Think about it. Even as a business owner, everybody does this. When it's time for you to advance to another platform, or you may see like an ad about some kind of service or product that will probably help your business out, what is the first place that you go to on their website? Don't lie. Very first place, the price section. You go straight to the price section. Come on now. Don't try to hide it, because I do the same thing. You're like, oh, this is so great. Oh, this is awesome. How much is this? That's the first thing that we do. We all do it. So, what makes this any different? So, the only thing is, you have to have a lot of pride in yourself. It's internal, it has to be in yourself. Because if you don't trust and believe in yourself, don't go into business. Scrap it. Don't even, just hide in a hole, because that's what it is. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to be doing the same exact thing that you're going to be doing. But the only thing that happens is you got to believe in yourself. So, again, if you're watching this, hashtag live or hashtag replay. But now I'm going to go into how to gain and contain that or maintain that confidence. Let me see if I can speak, right? So, a lot of people say, well, confidence is within you. Yes. Some people, even later in life, you can gain confidence. So the first thing is focus on what you're good at. I see so many people on Facebook, so many teachers that will go to a lot of these sites, which they do, and they'll all sit and they'll talk and like, oh, I hate my job. I can't wait to go. And this is the early years. We're still in September. Okay. We're in my birthday week. I wish I can tell you when is my birthday, but there's too many stalkers. Anywho, but focus on what you're good at. For me, I wanted to make the transition out of teaching without leaving teaching. I needed to get out of my four walls of a classroom. I needed to get away from the toxicity of being in the classroom. But I didn't want to get away from my students. I didn't want to dismiss the kids. Now, there's some people that are just like, you know what? Forget them kids. I'm out. I'm going to be working in a garden center. Not a problem. But if you're good at gardening, that might be your forte. If you're good at being in a office and maybe doing your own like educational consultants, if you want to do that, if you want to write script, if you want to do curriculum writing, you have to do your research. But no matter what, focus. Notice, focus on what you want to do. Life is way too short for you to say, this is what I'm living for. So going after what you want, because this is what we have to do. So now, the second one, learn the art of saying no. This took me forever, forever for me to understand, because I am a pleaser. I want to make sure that everyone is doing great. I want to make sure that everyone has the information they need. I am constantly a give, 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 give. I give all the time. But that's what caused me to lose myself in my marriage. That's what caused me to lose myself in the classroom. I was losing me. I was just being Miss Codner, the teacher. And that's what everyone saw. But I knew I had many hats to be thrown up in the air. But in order for me to go further and to break that mold, and for people to see the many other hats that I can do, and to support people without losing my insanity, I had to learn to say no. Oh, Audrey, let's have a meeting. Okay. You guys drop out in the meeting. Oh, can we have a re-meeting? No. This is a once in a lifetime atmosphere, once in a lifetime opportunity. Because now I see the value of myself. And it's a shame that it took the rightful age of 50, because that's when it kickstarted everything. The rightful age of 50 to jumpstart everything. Don't wait. If you're in your 30s, I'm going to be truthful. I can't remember my 30s. It's not like I was partying hard or anything. I can't remember my 30s because all I knew, I was just working. So I'm not going to work myself into a hole anymore. That's done. Learn to say no. And it's okay. Because I know when we're in the classroom, we're not supposed to say no. Because once we say no, all of a sudden, oh, well, you think you're better than us. Yes. Yes, I am. Don't change who you are to fit into a mold that you know is toxic. It doesn't make any sense. And for those that are tutors, don't carry that burden in your head to your new business. There's going to be times that yes is the thing. A lot of people say the customer is always right. Sometimes the customer is not right because they're not educated. So it's going to be up to you to educate them and to convince them that you are the one that they need to get their services from. Now, drum roll, please. And number 3, I think I've said it multiple times, and we're going to say it again. But be kind to yourself. It was kind of said. In order for you to know yourself, in order for you to be kind to yourself, you got to know yourself. What are the things that you love to do? Number 1. What are the things that you don't see as work, but it is of value to someone else? How are you going to know unless you ask people? So the best thing, if you're not sure, yeah, you can go to a Facebook group. But my thing is you can take that information with a grain of salt. The reason why I say this is because they don't know you. They don't know your personality. That's why, like, once in a while, I'm going to put a post up and say, hey, I want to do a brainstorming, because I think a lot of people have such great gifts. They think, oh, okay, I need to be a tutor because I'm in education and that's an easy slip in. It's a lot of work. It's not just the tutoring, it's the business side. How do you maintain people in your business? How do you basically project great intention, and your ideal clients will attract to you? And then all of a sudden your business is being dealt with word of mouth. But everyone thinks that, oh, I put a post out there and it didn't work. It's not just going to be one post. It's going to be multiple posts. It's going to be you getting off your butt and getting on the phone or getting an email out to potential people. Where are my people? Where are the parents of my people who can use this service? And you reach out to them. And don't be afraid to reach out to them, because we're going to have to learn to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So, in order for you to do all this, to gain this, here's one exercise that I've done throughout this past year is I go into my bathroom and I look myself straight in the eye, right in the retina. All right. And I take a look around my face, because years ago, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I don't know why. My parents loved me. I mean, it's not like I didn't have anything, but I couldn't look myself in the eye. I would just look, and the first thing I say, oh, look at those crow's feet. Oh, God, look at that. Oh, where's that bump? Is that a bump? Am I growing a beard? It's all kinds of stuff, right? But actually be kind to yourself. Look at those eyes. Look how they sparkle. Let me see that smile. Oh, look at the smile. Wow. Now I see what those guys see. Huh, girl, you hot. you know, do what you got to do to motivate yourself, but be kind to your soul. Don't let society throw you all over the place for a curve. And I love how Lynn's here. So scared, but what is the worst? Just say no. It's okay. No problem. I know that we have a couple drum rolls. I love it. Thank you, Lynn. Lynette. But when it really does come down to it, you just have to be kind to yourself. Know yourself. Know your value. Know your worth. I've been teaching for a while. When someone says, hey, Audrey, I can't afford your services, what do I say? All right, let me see if I can find someone who can help you. People appreciate that. I'm not just like, all right, screw you, man, I'm out. I tried to add some help to the situation, because just the fact that a parent felt comfortable enough to reach out to me, I'm going to give that service. And a lot of people are like, well, then you lost a client. But here's the thing. There's times I give free services. This is me. This is not for everybody. So when I do give a free service, they see what I can do. I name them their price. They say, wow, Audrey, that's a little too much. Okay, not a problem. I can help you find somebody else, or, oh, we're going to try for the after school help for right now. Not a problem. But every tutor and every person that they meet, I'm constantly on that kid's mind. That person is comparing that person that's sitting right in front of them to me every time. And I'll tell you, and it works. A month, maybe 2 months later, that person's calling. Don't ask me why they wait a month. And especially around this time, it'll be like Thanksgiving, and they'll call me. Do you have any room in your schedule? I mean, just for this one time. Not a problem. Let's see what I got. Perfect. And then they get that full service of me again. Now they're hooked. I know. I hate to compare it to drug dealing, but really, if you really look at business, you give people a taste. You talk to people. You communicate with them. You build relationships with them. It's hard for you to go away. So, this whole thing, to maintain it, to build it, look at yourself, talking to yourself, believing what you're doing. Make sure you're doing something that you love. It's going to take time and practice. If you think it's going to happen next week, well, the ad says exactly. That's what the ads are going to say. The ads are going to tell you all the positive stuff that you want to hear, because they want you to buy their stuff. And we want you to do their programs. Go towards programs where people are talking. But you have to do that maintenance. You have to practice it. Every time you get a phone call, what are you going to say? Here's the suggestion. Don't say too much. Listen Everybody's talking all the time. Exhibit A, that's why we're here. Everybody's always talking. Why not you be different? Be unique. Ready? Zip your lips and just say, well, ask this question first. How may I help you? Zip your lips and then jot down notes. Don't be like, oh, well, when I was a kid, no one cares. Hell, that's why I go on these lives, because I know someone's got to care somewhere. My mom does. She watches this. But when it comes down to business, people want to know, can you give me the results to get me away from this barrier? I hate seeing my kid struggling. I hate picking up my kid every single day from school, and I know he or she's been crying. And it's all because, for me, the math class. For others, it's all because of English class, or it's because they don't have the social skills and everything. So it's hard, right? But it's going to take practice. There's too many tutors nowadays are coming to me and saying, "Hey, Audrey, how do you?" And I tell them and I show them. And then months later, when they say, "Well, how do you do this? How do you do?" I tried that. And I ask them, "How many times you tried?" Like, once. It's going to take more than just once, months ago, when you were inspired. You got to go through the mud in order to come out shining. Okay. So enough of that. So if you were entertained by this and you want to basically find a Facebook group that does a lot of these things, come to my Facebook group, which is From the Classroom to Online Tutoring Virtual Community. We are slowly growing, which is awesome. I think we're at 184, 85, something like that. But this is just a place I like to say, like, I want to focus on math tutors, but everyone is welcome. The reason why I want to focus on math tutors, because we know as math teachers, when it came down to doing curriculum or any cross curriculum project, math tutors are like, math, just do what you do. Everyone has like a great project. Oh yeah, you should do this, you should do that. And math is like, it's your own thing. Just do that. So I wanted to really give a place for math teachers and math tutors, not to just complain, because I don't do that complaining stuff. Like, let's make some differences. So I'm starting to do events. We're going to be doing some more challenges, especially in October. So once a month, we have an October challenge. I'll do a Q&A. And what we have coming up are for people that are tutors, currently tutors. I'm doing a collab workday this coming Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what we do is we have a question and answer session, really brief. Then we do like 45 minutes of quiet working on your business. Because I'm going to ask you, what would you like to work on your business? Are you setting up email marketing campaign? Are you working on a flyer? Are you working on an email or maybe something on Canva to send out to your family and friends, or maybe potential schools that you've actually talked to? You can do all that. And then after the end of 45 minutes, we come back and then we'll get you onto what's called a hot seat. You get to display what you've been working on for that 45 minutes. And you're like, well, I'm still not done. That's fine. Let's see your process and get feedback on the same day. I like to keep my groups nice and small. I know I'm totally going against the grain with business. A lot of people are like, yeah, get 150 people in there. No, I usually keep it small, try to do it 10. If it fills up, then I'll just do more sessions. There it is. I'll just work more. I don't care. So again, thank you for coming in. Oh, almost forgot one more thing. So for tomorrow, we're not going to have not tomorrow, for Wednesday. My days are all kind of mixed up. I'm not going to have my traditional two tutors talking, but on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have a special version of two tutors talking with Miss Denisha Gully. There we go. And she's going to share her wares, and she is in English. So she's an English and a language arts tutor from K through 8, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to have a nice little chat. So if anything, go come and join us at 2 p.m. on Thursday. So, people's got to work with their schedule as well. All right. So that's enough of my time. Almost 30 minutes. You guys have a great day and continue being awesome. Love you guys.